Hi, and welcome to D&D. I'm Daniel, I'm your Dungeon Master, and welcome back to Fools and Fates. I forgot to say the name last time, but, I had to make sure I introduced the world, so I forgot all of the important stuff. But that's fine, we're here now. So yes, I'm the DM, and with me on this fantastic journey I have some absolutely amazing players. Players, introduce yourselves and who you're playing.
Hello, I'm Katrina, and I'm playing Adeema Strongjaw, a Goliath on the smaller scale, and she is a fighter.
Hi, I'm Tore. I'm playing a human wizard named Orpheus, the Magus. A bit conceited, self-important wizard.
Hello, my name is Alex. I'm playing a elf goblin ranger named Baast.
And hi, I'm Marianne. I play Wren Shadeleaf, a Lightfoot halfling druid.
And sometimes a horse.
And sometimes a horse.
Sometimes a horse.
As last we left our adventures, they all met up back in a tavern after someone was horsing around and others were talking to birds.
The nature show.
Yes, this is actually just the
Where
weirdest...
is Attenborough?
He's sitting in a bush somewhere else and just narrating all
Narrate
of
the
this.
shit out of it.
Yeah, he's just...
AKA Daniel.
Yeah, there is actually a god in this world, but nobody knows, because he never intervenes, he just narrates everything.
Love it.
Yes. And here we can see the druid turn into a horse, for some reason. But
That horse has ran inside.
Yes, you all find yourself at the Sleeping Goat Inn and Tavern. As you've met up after talking to the Genku and being a horse, you all sort of, as Wren comes back in and Baast returns from the table at Kenku's, conveniently, time's sake, intervene at the exact same time and return to the party.
Hey, where have you been?
I just had to put Daisy to sleep, And
Why do you smell like a horse?
I mean, it's not the first time, to be honest, but you were when you left.
A conversation with a really fucking spooky horse.
A spooky horse.
Yes. Who had this weird... I think I'm going to give them a brief recollection of what the horse told me. Because I can't remember the details. So I'm just like, Daniel, can you...
Ren, have you been eating my spell components again?
Well, the horse did talk
Not
about
today.
A hooded figure who had long fingers that were quite pale.
Did this hooded figure have some type of mask on?
Did he have a sight?
Oh. The horse didn't say... I can go back and ask it if you want. But...
We could check it on the way out. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out if...
But it was really off. Really off. The horse wasn't good. It was really in a bad shape. It was...
Well, was
not
there
a
not
horse
a stable master?
He was sleeping and I didn't ask.
And maybe he would know since
I didn't want to pay for Daisy.
I'm sure, but we can still ask the man questions, can we not?
Yes.
Yes.
Instead
sure.
of
Yes, we
horsing
can.
around, we can actually go to the source. The man of the matter. The proprietor of the stable.
I just did what felt natural there and then. I'm sorry. I just did what I
need to
thought was right.
You did bring some interesting information, and what do you learn from the Kenkus?
Oh, that's Kenku's.
Oh yeah. So they all came here individually, as far as I understood it, and they met up. They've I don't know how much you know about Kenkus, but there is an kind of, I don't know if it's an old myth or an old curse on the Kenku people that the power of flight was taken from them. And so they're fairly obsessed with the sky and taking to it in some way or another, and especially starry skies are very alluring to them. And these little flock of Kenku seems to be specifically semi-obsessed with stories about places that were changing or disappearing in the mountains, and bad omens as it were. Yeah, in this area, yeah, and that's why they came here.
Things follow this star, and well, springs about with the Starman about. So
yeah,
maybe he's here for some cosmic magical event, some sort of interdimensional, interplanar element.
I mean, there is this thing of midsummer coming up, and so the planar as it is. I'm not. You would know more about the arcane traditions of this more than I do, but as far as I understand, and as far as they could tell me, when it comes up to the midsummer solstice, or what is called in these areas, the veil between the worlds become thinner.
Yes, stars align, planets align, and the fabric between the planes becomes that much thinner. That could be why he's here, definitely.
Is this an every year thing, or do you know if this?
Well, some years are stronger than others. It do depend, but generally there are certain times of year that inherently is more connected to the Titan Oleg and others, of course.
Do you become better at what you do at these times?
I assure you, it's quite impossible to get any better than I am at any time, but yes, I can probably channel a little extra, what shall we say, cosmic force if I'm at the right place at the right time in some of my ritualistic magic.
Can you get your crystal to glow?
Don't shoot magical missiles. Yes, but good. Yes, definitely we have some potential there. We should talk. Good idea, Adeema. We should talk to the stable boy, and of course to Lissy, the innkeeper, when we actually get.
We also have the brother with a tonic.
Yeah.
That might be
connected.
Well.
It might just be some ordinary snake oil salesman, of course, but I don't know. It seems a bit coincidental.
I'm wondering if it was.
But
now
that man
we've seen
travelled some days ago, right? The salesman.
Yeah, he's
the guy with the mask and
yes.
the owner of this.
You know, he doesn't generally present himself as himself. He might change persona, slip in and out of disguises, so to speak.
But I'm just
Do you not know
thinking
his
about the
visage?
horse. No, well, the outfit of the horse's owner was
just a dark cloak.
yeah.
But do you reckon it was an actual beaked mask, or was it just some other type of bird
It could be a
creature,
kenku.
or a kenku? Yeah. You know.
We know very little so far.
Yeah. We also haven't gotten drinks yet.
Yes.
I'm gonna stretch my legs. I'm more curious about this stable man. If you guys don't mind, I'll just head out
No.
and see if I can
No, not at all.
get a word or two out of him.
We'll get
Do
you. We'll order
do you
you when
need
you're
me,
out.
or can I just keep your seat? I can keep your seat warm.
Keep my seat warm and my ale cold.
Cool.
Duh.
I'll do one of the other. Yes.
I'll have yours if you're not back in time, and I'll order a new one.
I have no issues with this.
That's a good trick.
We'll figure that out.
So the three of you who remain, what do you do?
Well, service?
I'll look around the room.
Yeah.
Who's there? What's there? Anything of noteworthy interest?
You can see there are a few different. It's not too many people in here. Apart from the Kenkus, there is a table where you can see what looks like a human in his mid-30s with some traveling clothes sitting next to an elf, and you can also see that there's a gnome sitting with them as well, like on a chair that's quite high up, and you can see there's steps on up that he sort of traveled up and sits there, and they all sit and sort of seem to be playing some kind of card game that absolutely none of them are really paying attention to, as they sit and just talk. On a different table you can see a dwarf that looks eerily similar to the one you met on the way in to town, except he's sitting he doesn't have on any chainmail or doesn't have a weapon with him. He's just in like a plain tunic, and he has like a little leather cap on top, and sits and just sitting by a table by the window, just eating some stew and just looking out for himself.
Does he have a bald spot?
Well, he has a leather cap on, so you can't tell.
Oh.
Almost like it's there by design.
Is it about the same size?
It covers, down to here, so who knows. And also you can see that out of one of the rooms in the back, this half-elf woman who was wearing sort of like some leather armor, and has a bow on over her shoulder, and talks to Lizzie and a little bit back and forth, and Lizzie hands her a pouch of what you assume to be coin, and the woman just sort of gives her a nod and walks out. Walks past the three of you that are still in there as she's headed out, and excuse me. And
I think I'm gonna try to attract the attention of the barkeep, of Lizzie.
Yeah, she's sort of standing by the bar and looking down towards where you're sitting, and realizing that you're not getting up, she sort of walks over. Oh, hi there. Hi. I haven't seen you guys around here before. You're new in town?
Yes, we just arrived. 4 us traveling companions, thirsty from a long road. And you must be Lizzie, am I right?
Oh, yeah, you've already heard of me. Only good things,
yes,
I hope.
The kind dwarf guard at the town told us. Could we perhaps get a round of drinks first, if that's okay? A mug of ale for my friend here, a flagon of ale for my friend there, a bucket of ale for my friend when she returns, and a glass of white wine for me, please.
Yes, just as you know, our it's not much of wine, and what we have isn't cooled. But I can get you some, yes. We do also have some hard ciders, if you'd like that.
Yes, perhaps I'll go for the cider then.
There you go. Anything
and before
to
you
eat?
leave, yes. I would like some bread, some cheese, and some cold cuts, perhaps.
Do you have soup?
Aye, we have soup. We have a very nice stew going. If you'd like some stew,
I'll
Please.
second that stew. Yeah.
And also a big bowl for the friend that's not here. And is that Raleigh over there that I see?
Aye. Well, it's either that or Raleigh or Bali. I can never tell them quite apart.
Thought it was.
It's one of
Okay.
them, at least.
Yeah.
Barley, huh?
But yes, I'll be back in a moment. And she sort of just wanders off and starts pouring ale and bringing out the cider and she brings over sort of drinks and food to all of you, but she sort of holds the food for Adeema, because you don't bring food until the person has arrived.
Excellent. And perhaps we should talk to Rolly, yes, but perhaps we should wait to see what Adeema finds out. She might pick up on something important. So I'll start eating and drinking.
Aye. Would you like to pay as it goes, or just would you like a tab?
Tab, please.
Yeah, very, very well.
Also, do you have any rooms available? We might stick around for a little while.
Yeah, we have. Would you like room for all 4 of you, or would you like to separate rooms, or rooms of 2?
The Stone Yarn and the Halfling would probably like to share a room, but if you have a private room, I'd gladly take one.
I guess that means I'll have a room of my own as well then.
Right, 1 double and 2 singles, no problem.
That's cool. Could you could you make sure that, well, how large are your beds? Is what I'm
It
trying to
needs
ask.
to be really, really large. If so, you don't have any large, you need to have 2 or 3 or 4.
Oh,
She's big.
I'll just put you in one of the Goliath rooms. It's no problem.
Excellent.
We do. There is a horde that's from time to time someone comes down into the village to do some trade. Not, of course, not the entire horde, because that would be too many of them. But I can't house that. But yeah, we have some rooms, so it'll be 2 very large beds. So for you, you'll have a lot of bed.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
All right, then I'll just put it on the rooms then, and sort of goes off.
Great.
Did we get a price?
Can't be much.
No, but I mean, it is the place where we have to be, I guess. I don't think there's that many inns or taverns available, I think. I think we'll be fine. We'll do for the night, and then if it's too much, we'll go somewhere else.
I mean, it could be a kitten, so we didn't have to pay.
I mean, if you wanna go ahead and do that, that's all your business. Or if you wanna be a horse, you can sleep in the stables.
Oh, good.
You can be a horse
do
for
that.
2 hours, and then
Yeah.
you have to come out of your form. So yeah, it'll be really weird. A horse, and then suddenly a sleeping halfling, just like. Speaking of horses, and once again we cut out to the stables. As this time Adeema approaches, and you can see sort of this half-elf that's sleeping, or at least having a nap by the stables.
I gently knock to see if I can get his attention. As gently as I can.
Yeah. You knock and he's like, oh, it rouses a little bit, like, oh, takes the hat sort of up from his eyes, and you can see it's like he has like a little longer brownish hair, and that goes back into the ponytail, and like kind green eyes, like well-toned face, and she's like, oh, yes, hello, how may I help you?
Would it be appropriate if I ask some questions of you, good stable master?
Highly depending on the questions. Some
I
are more
found-
appropriate than others.
I found my purse and I pick up a gold coin. I do have some, I think, don't I?
Yes, you
Yeah.
do. Ask away.
There we go, kind sir. I hold it. And I look in the stable and try to look at this horse that I'm sure was described.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look in and you do see that sort of in the back there is just like a black horse. But you're quite at the distance. You just see that because you did talk about a black horse,
Yeah.
and that's might be that
And a
one.
dead stare.
I think it might be that horse in the end, the black steed.
Aye, the freaky one.
Ah, then we are right on the money, sir. And I dangle the coin a little bit closer. Who does this steed belong to?
You see, that's the weird thing. Nobody ever checked it in, and it was just one day it was there, and there was a pouch of gold, and just said it would be there for a while, and Yeah, so the thing is, the horse doesn't sleep. It seems healthy and fine, but it just doesn't sleep. So I do think it's probably like a wizard of some sort to put it there.
So we are talking about a magical horse then.
We think so, yes.
I give him the coin. Or right before I give him the coin,
Yeah.
I snap it back. Any other valuable information about travelers' comings and goings of late? And then I drop it.
He catches it and well, if the masked man was still here, I'd warn you about him. He seems to be selling a lot of weird things, but he left, so... there's been a few people. There's some that's been heading into the mountains, which, from time to time, it's, adventures or fated as yourself, have things in the mountains and things they like. There's
Are you a local man, sir? If I may interrupt.
Yeah, well, I've lived here for the past 10 years.
Ah, so you would know some about the myths and lores about the mountains. Places coming and going.
Oh, well, there's a lot of weird tales, especially in the mountains, because, if you go far enough, you'll end up, there are several places that are both places that claim to be sacred, places that claim to be haunted. If you go far enough, you'll get to the land of the mountains where giants rule. And from time to time, rumors of dragons seems to have been spotted up there as well. So.
Oh my, dragons, you say?
Yeah, luckily never been spotted from the village. Only people who come from the mountain who've talked about them.
So nothing really that jumps to the front of your mind.
Well, there's any sort of point to one of the mountains, like just behind that one. It's called the Living Rock Peak. You should be careful there because the boulders come to life and people have died there.
Okay, I appreciate the warning.
And well, yeah, there's also cave systems. There's an old abandoned mine that was abandoned long ago, but I don't know much about that. Then you have to talk to Dinian Greypick, one of the last foremen of the mine.
Dinian Greypick, you say?
Yes, he's a retired man, a dwarf who quite very stubborn.
Well, that's not uncommon.
Quite the ego on him. So just beware of that. He lives in one of these sort of points, and they're just like right behind sort of the town hall, or just peeking out of it, you can see a house that's entirely made of stone. Like most of them have some stone, and most of are like mostly wood, but this is just entirely stone. It's like, yeah, he's the only stone house in town. It's not hard to find. Lot of stories about the old mines. But then again, he's quite up there, even for a dwarf.
Huh. I thank you so much for all your information and the kind warnings. And I hope you don't mind if we come calling again, if need be.
Well,
I'm sure you can be persuaded. I tap my pouch.
I'm sure it can be.
Excellent.
Just to... This might, I was probably wrong to ask. It's... You don't know Orm, do you?
Do I?
No.
No.
Oh, no, it's... No, sorry, just because you're Goliath doesn't mean you know every Goliath. Sorry, that's rude of me.
That's fine, no offense taken.
Yeah.
And then I mose back to the sleeping goat.
Yep. as you walk in the door, you can sort of see that Lizzie sort of just perks up behind the counter and sort of just like a nod and just disappears again. And as you walk to the table where your companions are sitting, she comes with like a big bowl of stew. and just puts it down.
Thank you, fair proprietor. I don't say, don't say barmaid.
Yeah.
Proprietor Lizzie, thank you so much.
I think as you come in, before you sit down, I'll like put up a handkerchief and like wipe your stool down.
That should be expected.
Yeah, you have a very well made and a little reinforced chair because there are.
Are you saying I'm fat?
No, I'm saying that
Big boned.
I'm saying Goliaths weigh a lot more than just, and especially someone.
He's saying way more than the three of us together.
Wearing a full plate and being bulky, yes.
I mean, the plate armor, the breastplate alone probably weighs as much as Run.
Probably more, but yeah.
Probably more, yeah.
I think a gauntlet would weigh about the same.
And here I was thinking I was like helping her out of her armor during nighttime, but maybe not.
Well, loosening some. Also, yeah, the armor she has, because I gave her an armor where she doesn't actually need help. She can just take it off as an action instead of spending 15 minutes doing so.
Amen.
Nice.
So, Adeema, what did you learn?
Well, the horse was left here several days ago. Did he say weeks or days?
Days.
Days, several days ago, with a pouch of gold, to be kept until whoever left it there would return.
Is it the same man or individual as the beak mask?
No, he spoke
No.
of the beak man mask, and he said he was also ominous. But he does not know who left the horse there. But the horse, Orpheus,
Yes.
it seems to be magical. It does not sleep. It
Well,
might be valuable as for maybe you looking upon it with your skills.
Perhaps I shall take a look at it, yes. Not a bad idea. I shall examine it, but also I'd like to talk to Rory first, because I'd like a little closer look at that potion he bought to see if there's actually any medical properties, if it's just a snake old man, or if there's something more sinister in it. I mean, we do know that this starred man delights in bringing chaos. What better way than to sell people a bunch of useful items?
Or dangerous
do-
ones.
Exactly.
But we don't know if that's Rolly or Bally, right? Bally?
Bali.
Bally.
The
No,
Raleigh and Bali.
Baldy.
it's one of them, and since it was here when you got here, unless the other one has quite the fast little feet, I think it's safe to assume. So I'll mostly on over and talk to him first, if you don't mind.
Also, before he leaves, I about all the other stuff he said about the caves and
Caves
the,
and the...
the other
Stones.
dwarf. Yep.
Cool.
Also worth,
Yep.
Ah.
could also be worth to check out. Yes, I mean if the Stone Man is here for a specific reason, for his magical places or the mountains, unfortunately, does appear to be off to merit at least some closer investigation, if not actually going there.
Would we go into a mine? Is that what you were saying?
Well, we do not know yet. We are yet to determine where we could track down this star-eyed man. I'm sure the mountain seems like a good clue.
Yes.
But he knew about him, did he?
He did not. The stable master.
Yeah.
Oh, he did not meet the man, or the thing, or whatever he is.
Which is also
Right.
curious indeed in itself. But one second.
So far we haven't really gotten any new information about where it could be. No one here seems
No.
to know.
Well,
No.
you do know that he likes to keep hidden, so.
Well, I mean,
to suss it
that's
out.
for sure. That's true.
So I'll move on over to the table with the dwarf.
All right.
Excuse me, gentlemen. May I have a seat? And perhaps by this, you. What was it? 3 people sitting there, or was it just him?
Oh no, the person you expect to be Raleigh, he's just sitting by himself, sort of just staring
I
out
joined
the
you,
window.
sir.
I mean, Yes, you can.
Excellent. Perhaps I could buy you a drink.
Well, one more wouldn't hurt. I do have work tonight, but yes, it'll be fine.
Ah, yes. If I'm not mistaken, you must be Rawley's brother of the kind dwarf that greeted us at the sentry at the gate of the city.
Oh, yeah, you met my fool of a brother, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's quite easily fooled, that one.
Oh, must be nice having a brother you can... of such. Well, the reason why I...
And such.
And the reason why...
What a wordsmith he is.
Nope. He's not particularly good with people, which you've all probably noticed since been traveling with him. Anyway, the reason I'd like to talk to you, good dwarf, is that he let slip that you had procured a particular item, an ointment, you might say, a cure from a traveling salesman that was in this village for a while ago.
I told him not to talk about that.
It's no reason to be embarrassed.
I always have to talk about it.
There's no reason to be embarrassed. It happens to the best of us. But
It's just
Flips
jealous
his
of my
hair.
hair.
that's even like long for. No, you see, the reason why I asked is I'm wondering if this person that was here might be a man that my friends and I are looking for. And if yes, sir, he is not to be trusted. He's a bit of a rapscallion, a scoundrel, you might say, a snake-oil salesman. Could you please, did you know anything? And Mr. wore a mask, but did you notice anything more about him? Catch a name, perhaps?
He was called... he called himself Bob Wick the Bountiful. And, yeah, now he just was selling, different trinkets and potions that would help against, nightmares and other such things. He wanted to set up a stall, but the mayor said he couldn't because it seemed, that most, he didn't have a proper license, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did many buy his trinkets? Did he have many customers despite not having a stall he could put up?
No, he had his cart he sold out of. It was dragged by his horse, and
How did his horse look like?
Well, it was sort of like a grey horse with like a well-kept mane, and it looked real bored. Sometimes like when he was talking and like sort of talking about his products, it's almost like the horse was rolling his eyes, and when always trust the sign that when a horse is rolling its eyes, there's something's going on. So I'm like, yeah, I bought something. So yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have the item you bought with you, do you?
Why? You don't want to buy it?
No, I would like to examine it if you don't mind. You see, I've spent years studying the mysteries of the Titan Nolag, and as a wizard, my task is to perceive and control the delicate arrangements of the cosmos. And I could certainly tell you if this is the real deal, or if you, unfortunately, have been taken advantage upon by a snake oil salesman.
Is that how you got the pointy hat?
Yes, that's right. A wizard's pointy hat. And he subconsciously adjusts his hat and a little straighter than back, a little more proud. Pushes his what passes for a chest. He's rather scrawny and a little lanky. Right? Yes.
Well, if you drink it, you have to pay for it.
Oh, no worries. I shall.
Also,
not
he
drink
told
it.
me not to drink it.
Should you rub it on the inflicted area, perhaps?
Yeah, a little bit. And he sort of takes out, from within a pocket, he takes out just this small vial, this small glass vial with a cork stopper on it.
Take out the cork. Smell it. Put his hand into his robe. Come with a little, a drop counter. Take a little drop of it. Puts this carefully back. Glide it back. Some other a little little mirror, some other components, and he puts a little of the ointment or tincture on the glass mirror and some different components, and I'll go and do an arcane check to see if I can perceive any sort of magical things a bit at all. Or do I?
Yes.
Or would I need a spell? I also have identify magic if I identify item, but
roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah,
first.
No
To see
worries.
what you can discern.
Arcana. Got a 14.
14. You, after like smelling it and taking some time, it smells beautifully of lavender and has a little bit of like an oily consistency to it. You catch no there's nothing about this that tells you this is like a magical potion that's been brewed. This might be, an oil that smells nice, and might, if there was if you had something that was like a little irritated skin, it might soothe it a little bit.
Okay, so fairly certain there's like no hidden magical properties.
Nothing sinister about this. Is straight up just somebody who's sold some nice smelling hair oil.
Well, after carefully examining this good Rolly, I'm quite certain to say that it will do you no harm and couldn't possibly hurt, so you might as well continue to use it. Who knows, it might actually have some soothing qualities, though magic it is not.
But I shouldn't drink it, right?
No, the different oils that added to it would probably not be good for digestion. So if you find yourself constipated, I'm fairly certain it might relieve that particular ailment rather efficiently.
Oh. It looks at it's like a 2-in-1. Nice.
Oh.
From head to ass.
We'll help you at all ends.
It should be. It should set that on the box.
Yeah, the typical male thing, but it works as shampoo, as motor oil, as you can clean a car. You can.
Well, before I leave, might I just inquire if you've seen any other travelers, perhaps any you might have cause to believe to be fated or some such. I mean,
yeah, there's a few come by, and most of them, stay a night and then head out. But there's like a few that headed into the mountains a few days ago that said they'd be back soon, but they haven't been back yet. So,
did they perhaps say where in the mountains they were going? If they wandered off to the Living Rock Peak, one might understand why they're not come back, of course. But
no. Well, they worked on. Well, they went and talked to the mayor, and after they talked to the mayor, they left. So I don't know.
Oh, he might know. Excellent. And then he described the horse and asks if you've ever seen. You haven't seen that particular horse and perhaps the rider upon it, have you?
No. I heard about that. Somebody talked there was like a horse that nobody knew who it belonged to in the stable, but as far as we've been told, as long as it's paid for, we shouldn't do anything. But like in a few weeks, when it's no longer paid for, so nobody got it back, then they might sell it.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your help, kind dwarf, and I'm sure we shall enjoy your charming village.
Yeah, well, it belongs to the mayor, not me, but yeah, thank you.
Yes, we will have to talk to this mayor, I believe. He smiles and he gets up and walks back to the others and sits down and quickly relates what he learned. So you see, I do not think that this plague mask wearing person was the Iron Man after all. He looks more like a common snake oil salesman that travels village to village, hawks innocent and completely useless trinkets to people, and moves on before they discover that they've been had.
So we can leave that trail then.
I believe so, yes.
Did it smell nice?
Well, his oil smells nice, but the dwarf didn't particularly mention the BO of the type of person.
Oh no, it was the oil.
Oh yeah, the oil, yeah, that smells nice. Lavender, a commonly used thing, mostly because it does smell nice and inviting.
I like lavender.
Most people do.
So the lead is now the mayor.
We should definitely talk to him. I should almost certainly take a look at this mystery horse you keep talking about to see if it has any magical properties. Would it be a hell steed or something worse?
Can I come with you? We have like a pole. Me and the horse. Sort of.
Which one? You and what horse? The nightmare horse?
What time of night or day is it now? We
Yes.
came here during the day.
Yeah, you came during the day, so it's into like the afternoon. It's what you're eating now is probably like just a little early dinner.
Yeah.
Not like farmer early, because you know
Alright,
they're already probably
then
almost done for the day.
Okay, before they leave, so should we be sensible with their time? Baast, do you want to go and check out the mayor's house?
I'm happy to go and check that out. I think we should. I don't know if we should split up though.
But 2 and 2.
This new into a place.
2 and 2 is safe, I'd say. I mean,
2 and 2 is cool. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone should go alone though.
No, for
No.
sure. That's what I said. Like, I think instead of
Very
sitting
good.
here twiddling our thumbs, we could do something sensible. We
For
are
sure, I'm
fated
done with
after
this.
all.
Happy to go with that.
You are.
If we could pass by a general store as well, I have some things that I'd like to sell.
Excellent.
excellent.
That'd be good.
As before we walk out, Orpheus takes up
Shopping.
this little leather traveling satchel that he has on his shoulder, and he packs together the remainder of cheese that he hasn't eaten and the cold cuts into a little piece of cloth, and he puts it into his bag.
Very sensible, and I do sort of a similar thing. I'll save a few scraps that I'm gonna feed Baba later on.
Didn't even think of it. Too late.
I've ate it all.
You probably ate
Yep.
it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ate the bowl.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, your name is Strongjaw. I'm gonna assume you can. Chew.
Yeah, it's like if you pay for the plate, you pay for the plate. Come through and all.
Leave us
what's-
4-star review.
Yeah.
Plate was a bit splintery, but
But I've had worse.
What was the name of the barkeep again?
Lizzie.
Lizzie. As we make our way out, you're just gonna stop by quickly and like, Lizzie, thank you for a wonderful meal. Could you point us the direction to the mayor's residence?
oh yeah, that's the big. Just points over like the big house at the is the town hall, and sort of. Well, most of it, like the first floor is like a public building, but the 2 stories over is the mayor's house. So it's.
Any do you know this person?
Oh yes, Sir Barrington's a very nice person. You know, a little bit rough around the edges, but is warm and cuddly when you first get to know him.
Oh, okay. And he treats the town well.
Yeah, he's tough but fair.
Oh, good. Cool. Well,
And I'll pop in behind you, like next to you, under your cloak. Look at Lizzie. When does it start popping
Yeah.
here?
What? Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. What did you say?
When does it start popping here? Like, when's the party start and all?
Oh, it's well, it depends. We haven't had any bards in last few nights, so exactly when the party starts, I'm not quite sure. But every evening there's after sundown, you know, most of the locals, some locals come, and you know, there's always a good feeling, and you know, just it gets a little rowdy now and then. But don't worry, it's well isolated, so if you shouldn't be too much noise up to the rooms.
Do we hear this?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
you haven't
Well,
left
then I just say to Wren, if you just put a little bit of wine into Orpheus, he'll sing you a tune.
Do I want
Oh,
that?
yeah, he's
Nobody
fairly
wants
light on his
that.
feet, isn't he?
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, that's how you like when everybody needs to go home for the night.
You want to empty the house.
Yeah.
You just send Orpheus in.
Like, his voice is grating enough, and he sings it worse. And when he gets drunk, he'll has a tendency to sing the landlord's daughter.
It's so melodramatic.
And very
Not everyone's
old-fashioned.
Very.
That or a song about how a wizard's staff has a knob on the end.
Yes.
He would, wouldn't he?
Classic wizard knob songs, huh?
Yeah. the classic wizard knob
Nob
song.
song.
A knob on the end.
All right. So heading for Sarah Barrington then.
And you wanted a store.
Yeah, we could pass by a general store. I have an
But I want to
extra.
go shopping as well.
Well, if you want to come off and meet us, then we can do that.
Right, Orpheus?
Yep, sounds like a plan.
We're doing the shopping after or before? I am confused.
If you're going to...
The sound is low down there.
yeah.
Speak
Yeah.
up.
Lizzie sort of cuts in. Sorry to overhear you, but if you are headed to the store, they close at sundown, and it's not that long until it. It's about... You have about an hour until the general store closes.
Shall we do it first then?
Okay, let's do that.
I'm sorry, I really want to talk to the stable master, but I want that more.
Well, he's not gonna go anywhere, is he?
We can do it. Well,
Oh, the horsey is not going anywhere either.
it's paid for a couple of days of what we know, and if we need some supplies, that'd be good to get, and I also need to get rid of some things if I can get a fair price for it.
Well,
Yeah, sure. I can check. I mean, I'm going to assume that this village doesn't actually have a great range of wares for one such as I, but well, you never know what someone might have sold or hawked over the years, some adventure I might have left behind.
And maybe
Cool.
if one of them, like either the horse owner or the medicine monger, if they've been there, maybe they've sold some of their shit.
good as guess as any, I think.
All right, so general store or just town square? I reckon we saw a fair amount of different type of shops from there, didn't we?
It wasn't many shops. There did seem to be like a little marketplace, but with like stalls and tents. But there wasn't really much people there. It seemed that that's something that happens earlier in the day.
Okay.
So you'll have to wait to tomorrow for that. But there was like a general goods store called that you walked by, and you saw the sign called Rowan's General Goods.
Rowan's General Goods, great. Heading to Rowan's then.
Yes, I might have a voucher here, I think.
Excited.
Yes. You head over, and as you walk in, like there's a bell over the door that rings, and you can, as you come in, you can see there are several sort of rows of. What's the word again for it?
Wares? Items?
Good.
Yeah, well, where's items?
Things?
Shelves.
Shelves.
That's the word I was looking for.
It's shelves. Such a hard
yes.
word.
Yeah.
Bunch of Billy bookshelves surrounding the shop.
I was like, I could only think about Norwegian and not English
The
words
thing
for
to put things on that way.
You know what else likes to sit on?
You know, reols.
Rules.
Organizing furniture.
Yes. Organizing furniture, yes, it's all sort of like an IKEA style. No, it's not that. But there are shelves, and you can see there are different goods. Most of it, at least in the front, seem to be very like common things that you would need either like in a household or when you're out. That anyone who's traveling, like traveling merchants and such, would need like extra rope and things to repair clothing and your cots and sleeping stuff and such, but also sacks of grain and such. And you can see that there's like a desk quite almost like in the middle of the shop, and then there's more things behind that, and you can see a human male, probably around mid-30s, early 40s, sort of short brown hair and some stubble, and you can see he's like a red tunic on, and he sort of looks at you. Hello.
Hi.
Greetings.
Greetings, sir.
Fated. How may I help you?
Well, we're passing through town, and we'll probably be here for a couple of days, but I'd need some, well, a little more spending. cash, as it were, and I have some supplies I need to get rid of. If you also are buying,
Well, if it's something that I think I could sell, then yes, I can buy. But I don't buy too fancy things or things that it will stay on the shelves for too long.
well, sure, there's no magical or anything, but I have a spare leather armor, and also an old longbow that I don't necessarily use anymore.
Oh well, yes, I can definitely get some use for that. Let me just gonna look up. Let me see. What
Less
else
price,
I
for sure,
can-
for sure.
Yes, of course, because I have some. Well, on a bow, your longbow, you say.
Mm-hmm.
I could give you about 20 gold for that. And the leather armor, is it studded leather or regular?
Regular.
Regular. Well, I can give you 5 gold for that.
Leather is cool. I'd say the longbow though, 20 seems a little low, not to be too demanding here, but it's good value and hasn't been that much used. So if I could ask for maybe 30.
Well, how about 20 gold and 10 gold in store credits?
I'm okay with that. Thank you. Yeah.
Very well. Very well.
Excellent.
It just happily sort of takes out some money, hands it to you, takes the things and so on. So, and what would you be interested in purchasing?
Great. First of all, we'd need some rations for, well, all of us for a couple of days. Probably, well, what do you say? I'll turn around to all of you. It's like, so when we leave this, how many days do you reckon we'll... 5 days? 5 days rationing for all of us? I can always forage and make
I can always
in
cook.
between.
And we can.
Whatever.
Sure.
He's foraging.
Yeah.
That
So
should
5
That's
days
a
will give us some backup if we need to.
5 days sounds sensible.
Okay. So how turn around to the preparative shop again. So supplies for rations for all of us for 5 days.
Well, it comes in about 5 silver for a person a day. Well, minus a little bit for, so just points to rent, but makes up a little bit for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for 5 days, well, let's see, it'll be about around 10 gold. And
10?
If you buy rations for more than 5 gold, you actually get a hunting trap.
Oh, very good.
On, you can see we have a special on, and it says if you buy a hunting trap, you'll get 1 days of rations.
Yes, that sounds good. Yes, that sounds excellent good. Yes. Actually, maybe in fact, maybe we should take rations for just an additional day then, perhaps.
Additional day,
Yes,
okay.
6 days. Well, but come to 12 silver in total. No, 12 gold. Sorry, gold.
12 gold. Cool.
12
So an extra 2 on top of the
So an extra
store
2
credit.
gold on the store credit. Yes.
Excellent. Very
And
good.
then- and as you said, it's to sort of just start putting like hunting traps up on the counter.
So what type of hunting traps are these?
There's a little bit of a mix. This one's for sort of medium creatures, and you can see it's sort of a size of something that could catch like a fox. But since you've bought for more than 5, you'll also get one of these. And he sort of straight up puts up like a bear trap.
Oh, excellent.
Very good.
Are there bears up there?
Up where?
In mountains.
Oh, we're heading
Uh,
for the mountains in a couple of days.
Well, depending on the mountain, might be.
You didn't
yes.
perhaps
Well, the one
outfit
right, like that we can see behind there.
I mean, bears do wander around. It's not like we have a bear mountain, I think. No.
Didn't
But you're
perhaps
giving us
outfit
a bear
group of-
trap because there's bears up there. That's
No,
just-
because you bought rations. So
And I put my hand on over Rand's mouth. No, Rand, don't pester this poor man with your questions. Yes.
Oh, also, does anyone have any equipment for climbing if we're actually scaling the mountain?
I
I
do
have a
rope.
rope. We both have
Yeah.
ropes.
Yes, I have a ladder, but
Well,
You have a
ladder?
yes. Why?
I look
Where
at
do
him.
where do you keep that?
Here. And he points to a little pocket. Isn't that quite
Incredible.
normal?
A ladder for mice?
And he pulls out.
Like a rope
Incredible.
ladder?
Damn, it's so hard to pack down again.
it's a 25 foot long ladder, just straight up a ladder.
Okay.
You could pull out of your...
I got it when you pulled out your first yard. Put it back in, Orpheus. Nobody wants to see it.
I also have a door here and a few other things that might be useful.
Incredible.
Wizard,
Well, okay.
carpenter, shoemaker. I am confused.
I turn to this human.
Yeah.
Dude. Health potions? Do you have any of those?
Unfortunately, no, I don't really sell them. You might want to hear with, let's see, Fageron. Yeah, he still does that. He's like in the herbalist of the town, but he was once a wizard, so he does know some magic.
Splendid.
Faye what?
Fageron. I don't really talk to him much because it's a bit uppity on the words and such, and always thinks he's smarter than me.
And I just look at him and I just like him.
Like who?
It's like not a
The wizard with the pointy hat and 5 traps.
Oh, the ladder man. Yeah, he seems fine.
Can you point us in the right direction?
Oh, yeah. If you headed sort of out on the east side of town, there's a large farm there, but sort of on the between the farm and the guard tower, you'll see a little hovel that has quite the extended garden outside. So yes.
Thank you.
Oh, be careful! Don't pick any of the flowers.
Why?
Without permission. No, because as I said, he's
permission.
retired wizard and such. So he also one of the kids who picked it once turned into a sheep for a whole hour. So I would be aware of that.
Did he eat it?
No, which after an hour he turned back into a child who was now just sitting in a field eating grass. So it's not that different from a normal child, but yes.
I like it.
Sure. Can't say I haven't been around that many children, but I'll take your word for it.
You see, they're like people, just smaller and stupider.
Interesting.
Strange.
Also, they don't really have money.
Orpheus can't help it, he just looks down. Child, halfling, potato.
I don't know if I see this. Do I see this?
What's your passive perception? 'Cause
I guess it depends on how lewd
What is my
Orpheus
as a
finds
wisdom-based class, I think it's quite high.
17?
7. Yeah, you see him looking down. like
Okay,
this,
I
yeah.
will kick him in his shin. Did you just call me a child?
No. Hobbles like on one foot.
Well, I think we've
careful about
taken
wizard.
up.
That's like
Swore
10%
that
of
I
my
heard you
hit
say
points.
that.
I think we've taken up too much of your time, good sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day, and well, should you need anything else, you know where to find me.
Indeed.
Sure.
Fine, sir.
You have a good one.
And we still have this special on, and sort of just looks at this poster and starts thinking.
No, come on, we'll be leaving. And I just grab him and push him out.
Just like an off question. Did Alex did Baast pay for all of the rations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate.
I'm not mentioning that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I've paid for all the rations and handed it out to you as we leave the place.
Excellent. I love shopping with fools. I'm fairly certain that if we go around and sell this at the next village we come to, we could actually make money on buying the provisions.
I'm very fascinated about that special.
Yes, he did get his ass backwards, didn't he, the little fool?
Well, the rudeness aside, I don't know how he keeps that place running if that's the deal he makes. I'm sure the traps are way more expensive.
Yeah, because as it said on the poster, if you buy a hunting trap, you would get 1 day of rations. Not if you buy rations, you get hunting traps.
Yeah.
I think you got a little bit backwards, but
I
his
understood
losses
that
are gain.
Yeah. And
Is
now we
that
have.
okay though?
Let's not question it. We are important.
He made his choice.
People on a very important task.
He made his choice. We'll
Okay,
come back.
since you say it.
We'll
He
make sure he
aids
has a
the
good business
fated
before
in
we.
a great task to fight foes with stars in their eyes.
Are we that high?
I'm
and
looking,
mighty,
and
though,
my cloak
really?
is if it does the thing you said it does.
Oh yeah, as
It's-
soon as it just starts billowing dramatically.
Yeah. In the
She's doing
mountains,
that.
we might see him for the first time, and he will find his destiny on the end of my great sword. I'm being very posy.
There's just us here.
If I could draw or write poems, I would. That is so
Yes, Bast, I'm giving you a treat.
inspiring.
I mean,
Like my sword and back in.
And
We've
yeah,
been-
I'll
we've
drink
been-
for that. Just like a drunk that's like 20 feet just down the alley. Just like, yeah.
Yes, drunken man, you have witnessed a destiny moment.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
As you should.
And
Very
Orpheus leans over to Baast. Did she just say she would do with that sword what I think she said to would?
That's kind of the vibe that I was getting too.
Well, that sounds not entirely consensual.
Well, speaking of how much she speaks of our little friend here asking for consent.
So, should we go see Fagran the herbalist now, or should we do the other tasks we had set before us first?
I need to check on Daisy.
And we should look at that horse. And we should
Yep.
probably stash these traps, and we don't have to drag them around all the time.
And the human needs a tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And with that, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Once again, probably at the stables.
Well, that's your fault for making us so darn interested in horses.
Yeah, I know. It's one of the things I never get to deal with, and then I put it in, and then that's all that is.
it's
all about
it's
the
a
horse.
very nice
Yeah.
stable. Yeah.
Yes.
We are companion of fated ones, all about the horse.
Yes. Very well. We'll be horsing around right after this break.
It's all about the horses. Sorry.
Bye.
I need to-
Short break. Yes. Hi and welcome back. The party is now splitting up, and I believe 2 of you were heading to the stables, while 2 others were heading to the mayor. Who was going where?
It was Orpheus and Wren who went to the stables.
Yep.
And also to drop off the traps, so we'll perhaps start with the other 2.
And so, us 2 are heading over to the mayor.
Yes.
We are indeed.
We'll start the stables, as I don't have to explain
Okay.
how the stables
Yeah.
look anymore at this point. So yeah, you get to the stables, and you can see now the half elf that Wren saw earlier sleeping is now walking around, sort of just checking on some horses and looking a little confused into one of the booths, as there seems to be a goat just standing on one of the horses, and he's just not quite sure what to do.
You must be the stable master.
Yes. Hi. What can I help you with?
Well, my name is Orpheus, and this is my companion Wren. I've been told that you have heard these rumors about a very mysterious horse in your care.
Maybe. Yes. Why?
Well, I specialize in
Is that your horse? Are you the wizard who left it here?
No, it's not my horse, but I am a wizard, and I can at least...
What if it was his horse?
Oh, he said it wasn't.
It's not my horse. For God's sake, I don't want that demon thing. But I would like to examine it, because it might be the horse of a wizard whom I know. You know, there are not that many of us. We are all learned and educated and trained in the mystic arts of the great Titan knowledge.
Yeah. Just go look at the horse. Did you summon the goat? Why does animals just appear? That's new.
No, summoning is not part of my
for
skill.
a small fee, I can maybe help you with your goat problem.
No, I mean, if it doesn't belong to one of the farmers, probably send it to the butcher.
Get down from there. I look at Daisy.
Jumps down.
I mean, she might belong to me.
Oh, well, goats, can't really... Oh, I mean, sure. It's not my goat.
I'm like trying to get her behind me.
Orpheus shakes his head and walks over towards
walks up to you and starts, nibbling on something on your staff.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I walk over to the horse in question. I'm going to assume this is the one.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see it seems like a black horse, and Wren as well. You don't get the same feeling you did as when you were a horse. It looks like just a normal, just completely black horse. This just seems just a little off, because he's sort of just looking at the other horse that's closest by him, and he just sort of stares at it. But
and I just can't keep hearing in my head, like when I look at him, like he missed the way they screamed.
Yeah, no,
is
he
that what he
didn't
said?
need food. He was just waiting for the screams.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing in my head.
Look at it, really examine it, and pull a little hair out of it. Look at the hair. Again, find some thing, put it on the little mirror.
As you do,
sprinkle
takes
dust.
your hat.
What? No! Not my, you little monster, you! Can I use arcane to pick up any magical... Or if not,
roll an arcana.
And if I don't find anything there, we're gonna see if it's affected by any spells afterwards. But roll arcana first. Come on, roll. Oh, there it comes. Ooh, 25.
25. As you look at it, and it seems normal, but this hair that you've taken out, and as you sort of look at it, it's slowly just starts to turn into shadow and just disappear.
Well, that's not normal. Might it be a horse created from something?
This definitely seemed to be, but it doesn't seem that there. You know of a spell called Find Steeds, but that's or find summon Phantom Steeds, which is like a wizard spell, but they usually then just disappears after a few hours. If this horse been here for days, this must be something else, and it seems to be of probably not just completely conjured, but more like summoned from somewhere.
Summon, yeah. So it's not technically being currently affected by a spell, so identify wouldn't necessarily give me any more than I already know then.
No. With the 25, you can say that it's been summoned and is probably bound to someone. But even with
the ritualist is the summon, and probably not from any happy-go-lucky horse kingdom either. This is more nefarious in nature.
Yeah, with a total of 25, I'll even give you some information that this might be something that's been summoned from somewhere known as Shadowfell, which is sort of dark reflection of the world.
Yeah.
There are sort of two reflections. One's called the Feywild, which is the one that's sort of brightly colored and full of chaos and pixies and fey and stuff, and sort of the opposite, Shadowfell, is just dark gloom and sort of where often things latch onto like one emotion and becomes sort of just a manifestation of that emotion, but like just negative emotions.
Excellent. Well, I think we have all we need, Wren. If you step outside with me for a little while. Well, yes, that's undoubtedly something, some magical summoned that horse, and I believe it might even come from the Shadowfell plane. And whoever done it, since they have kept it here for days, is
Do I know about Shadowfell? Sorry.
Yeah, you as a druid, you know Shadowfell, especially since druids are a little more connected to the Feywild. So, yeah.
So and so to summon a steed from that plane and keep it here for such an extended period of time does suggest to a most capable wizard or magician or conjurer or someone, perhaps a sorcerer, but no, this is definitely not a sorcerer. This is someone with more skill than that. This is
more
someone
skill
who's
than
learned. Certainly in that particular area of summoning. No, probably not so much in other arts of evocation, but yes, in summoning he's more learned in that particular field than I.
I'm just thinking, what would it entail to have or to do that summoning? It must cost something.
Yes, you'll need the correct components, you'll need time, and of course, depending on exactly what sort of school of magic he came from to summon it, and actually how he's connected.
Can I use detect magic to figure out what school of magic that? No, because it can only use that to figure out.
Yeah, if there's like if there's like a lingering spell, you might detect the school of magic, but something that's been summoned in here.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm giving you all of this because of the 25, which is a high check. So, we're talking back and forth. There's probably nothing that would still be sort of lingering that would give you that information, even with detect magic or identify.
You could have probably done it as he used the spell to summon it, but now it's too late.
Yeah.
But definitely, it's definitely someone to look out for, and it's definitely on a list of suspects.
Summon something, a creature like this, just to leave it here? It doesn't make sense to me.
To get here, I'm assuming he's moved on to some place where a horse would be less useful. Perhaps into the mountains. Well, in the mountains, some of the smaller paths, so if it's to climbing, perhaps. Didn't you speak of a mine as well? That would not necessarily be a natural place for a horse.
But wouldn't you just take it there and, leave it there?
Well, it might be summoned, it might be a special horse in that way, but it's still a horse, It might be stolen, eaten. I mean, who knows what sort of hungry beasts or relatives of Adeema might be walking around out there.
I'm not sure I want to know.
And as this conversation goes, we're going to cut over to the mayor's house, or the town hall.
Adeema, listen, do you do good with authority figures? Are you good speaking to political types?
I'm very adept at most things.
Well, and humble too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, it's one of my biggest traits.
Yeah, I've picked that up over the last couple of weeks. That's a lovely feature of yours.
Yeah.
It's my bestest.
Yeah, she only
For
has a
sure.
trophy that says number one humble person.
Yeah. I show it.
Wow.
Medals.
Definitely
Fantastic.
homemade.
Yeah,
I made
I
it.
probably made it.
Yeah, she made it. Wren made it.
that's great. I mean, you're great at wood carving too. Wow.
Hold on.
Learning
Wood cover.
learning a whole new things here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, great. Good talk.
Do you consider yourself adept
Well, I mean,
in the art of conversation?
well, I'll say in this company, not at all. I mean, compared to your accolades.
Come now, don't be
Um,
shy. I'm sure you can put a sentence or two together.
Well, sure. When it comes to that, I'm a little better at speaking to common people, if that's the case. I think the main bit is mainly that I don't necessarily think as highly of people of stature as they do of themselves, and something that doesn't really put them at ease. If that makes any sense.
Well, we should do a little strategy then. Like, I will mesmerize him with my conversation skills.
Sure.
And you can maybe see if he's perhaps lying of someone else's, or sneak around and see if there's something else that we could pick up.
Do you want me to snoop around the house as you occupy him?
That wouldn't be a bad idea, wink wink.
We could do that.
Excellent.
Fair
He will
enough.
be enthralled for hours if I want him to.
Okay, very good. I'll I trust you and your trophy.
Yeah, she has a very high sense of self.
Enthralled for hours, eh? Excellent.
Yes. You get to this building and there is are some large doors. One that is sort of slightly ajar, so to indicate that it is open and people can just come in. As this first floor
okay.
is, after all, a public building.
Okay. Well, I guess we just head on in.
As you come in, there are rows and rows of benches, and seeing as this first part is also like a sort of a public hall, and whenever there's like either like town meetings or announcements or such, it can be done here. And you can see further back like a small raised podium, but behind that again there's like a large writing desk, almost like a reception desk, and behind it, to your surprise, sits a goblin, very well dressed in clothing that are definitely not tailor-made and should probably be to either like seem to be like a suit made for a small child that this goblin has crammed on, and a small little like top hat that sort of sits a little askew and sits there with a large feather pen, and just sort of you can see from a distance that he's not actually writing, but he definitely looks like or trying to look like he's writing, just waving this feathered pen back and forth.
I throw my arm out very dramatically in front of Baast. and then,
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
I walk ahead and I strike a hero pose with my cloak.
Wow. I stand in awe in the back.
The goblin looks up and like, "Oh, hello! Oh, fated! Hi!"
Good evening, dear clerk.
You look awe-inspiring. Do not kill me, I work here.
I would never dare, but I am on a very important quest and I need to see the mayor of this fair city.
Well, as I say to all fated to come in, of course I'll make that happen, don't worry.
I blow around in my cape very dramatically.
Yeah, he
Excellent.
sort of jumps down and immediately sort of just runs towards the door and opens it.
I'm
and just
imagining
starts
Kermit
screaming
arms.
like,
Yeah.
Sir, that's fated here! Sir, that's fated!
I turn around and go like this to Baast.
Great. Is this my cue?
Yes, Go.
Cool. And I'll cast Pass Without Trace on myself.
Okay, yeah.
And see if I
coordinated.
can. So I'll cast Pass Without Trace, and I'll do stealth and see if I can just poof and disappear in the shadows.
Yes, roll a stealth check with your plus 10.
So that is 29.
A casual 29 in stealth. Yeah,
Yeah.
you disappear, and as if you was never there, and walk sort of behind this door, and as this, you can hear the goblin and some heavy footsteps going back. You sort of just slip in past some like a plant, some decoration, and as they walk by, you sort of just continue in and up the stairs without making a noise. And you sort of catch this person following the goblin. It's very large, but with your hiding and such, you don't really see him that well. Out from this door, first the goblin comes running in, and he's like, "And here's the fated, sir! Here's the fated one!" And behind him you can see very large person, not quite Goliath big, but not, well, almost as tall as you. Probably
Me?
only about
No.
yeah, probably about only about like 10 centimeters shorter. This is like big, burly, and you can see like very, very hairy arms, and some actually has some nice gloves on, and you can see like there's like a green vest and some nice pants, and you can see that this person is also wearing like a hat and has like glasses on and like a big bushy mustache. You can't quite place what race this person is.
I probably could if I wanted to.
Yeah, well, if you really want to do, but that's not what you're here to use your excellent skills and talents on. Hello there. I heard there was someone who wanted to see me, and sort of just looks down. And I can never say no to a fated one. So, how may I help you today?
It is of most importance, and I would very
It
much...
always is.
It is indeed, and the quest is dire. And I don't think it would be a good idea to speak so openly. May we go to your office or somewhere else a little bit more private?
Yeah, we can go to my offices. Just this way.
Do I know where Baast is? Is he going to the office? Because then I'm like, no, maybe close
Baast
to a
is
window.
gone. He's
Okay.
just gone.
I'm thinking maybe he's going to go to the office. I don't know where he is. No, wait a minute.
Baast, actually, you see this person now. The mayor points to a door, not the same door the goblin ran through, but another door, and she's like, "Yeah, my office is through this door, which is a closed door." And but you have no idea where Baast.
No, well, he'll figure it out. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
He also just disappears sometimes.
But they're small.
I usually give some warning that I will.
Bounce.
So I will then slip through the door where the mayor came from.
Yeah. Actually, as you go in the direction, you can see there's up some stairs and up to the second floor.
Okay.
Which, as you've been told earlier, is the mayor's residence.
Okay. Cool. So I'll sneak up there. What do I see when I get up?
The first you come into seem to be a living room. A very nice place with like a little fireplace, and you can see there's several bookshelves and like a sitting area with a couch and some large chairs. Everything here seems to be quite big and sort of sturdy. And also by the exit you can see there's just like several coats and such, and a big basket of gloves. Just seem to really like gloves.
Okay. Okay. I'll make a mental note of that. Can I look for any type of... I'm going to assume that he has people out around the town and also some guards that will make like official reports and like at end of day reports or like any events that will happen. I want to look for that. and I want to see if he has a journal anywhere that I could find.
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Cool.
While he's
23.
Jesus. Okay.
Someone's rolling their asses
Yeah.
off today.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Mad rolls, actually.
good, it's good that D&D Beyond rolls well for some people. Never me.
Yep.
Yeah. So after looking around a bit, you do find there's not many things lying around here. It seems to be well tucked away and such, but you do find you come into like a private, more like of a reading room and a little bit of an office, and you do find actually with that, after rummaging around, you can see there are things like he's just been writing some letters and such, mostly to different people. They are of no interest, but you do find a journal that's sort of hidden, actually, in like underneath the desk itself. Because, well, yeah, you had to beat a 20 to find it, and yeah, you did.
Fantastic.
So you find a journal of. It actually has his full name on it. Of the Journal of Bartholomew Barrington.
Bartholomew Barrington.
You do see that as well. There are. He has a list you find of some people, and there's just a list of names. The top says Fated, who's and there are some of the names who's been crossed out. Some of the names says did very well, and then just some numbers behind, and you assume that most likely something just like whenever it looks like he's been giving out quests and such, because there is this is after all a place that is near quite dangerous areas, so but yeah, nothing on that sticks out.
Okay.
But you can grab it if you want to, because this is just like taking a look over it, unless you want to spend a lot of time looking through it and try to recognize some names, but that takes time.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pocket the book. I think I'm gonna take the journal.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take the journal. But I couldn't find anything about official reports or anything else.
No, it seems to be mostly personal stuff up here.
Okay. Anything else? I'm just throwing things out. Anything else that like sticks out as a item of interest, as something that kind of looks, thrown on top of something, like I'll get to this later kind of thing.
Yeah, there is a the third floor, which is up some stairs. And you can head up there, and I will get to you right after we've had Adeema talking a little bit.
Cool. Yep.
Because we'll see how much time you get and such.
Cool.
Because you have potentially hours. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
it depends.
Yes.
Do I need to roll anything to be absolutely mesmerizing and fantastical?
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there. All right.
But we'll have to roleplay to see exactly what you have to roll and see how difficult it will be. So this large man sort of shows you in and comes to an office, and you can see. He has to sort of open it. He takes out keys, unlocks the doors, and shows you in. There's a few sitting places, and then there's like a large desk, and you can see it's just full of papers and different like drawer sections and such, also just full of papers and books. And he just gestures to the sitting places, just like, "Oh, yeah, just have a sit here." And so, closes the door behind. "And what is this very urgent, important matter?"
Thank you so much for offering of seats, but my what I need to talk to you about is not a sitting matter. I try to look very ominous, and I lean down my 10 centimeters.
Yeah. Very well.
Do you know that there has been a troublesome individual passing through your fair village?
Care to be more specific?
At
Like
this,
of
yeah,
what exact level of change are we talking? Someone who's scamming people? Because this happens from time to time. There's one I'm pretty sure sold things that were just gibberish.
I turn around slightly and then I turn back. No, we are talking about utter chaos.
That doesn't sound good.
It is not good. Foul, dark magic. Evil
The
deeds and
worst-
corruption.
Worst kind of magic.
We
And
speak
so
not-
he just looks off into like the middle distance.
1,000 yards there.
Yeah. And what can you tell me of this? Is it gonna happen soon? Can you stop it? What is needed?
I start